First off, I'm not, in fact, forklift certified. And I know, it might be a shock, but it's true. On an unrelated note, I spent the last 2 weeks of my life building a website. I'm not here to give a tutorial, just to share my experience. This whole thing started out as a tiny little blog on GitHub pages. One page, one post, super simple, not much to it. It was just hosted there waiting for a while as I forgot about it. Eventually, I wanted a simple project to do, as I have an incredibly small budget. Anyways, I really got to let loose while making this, and it's nice how HTML is not inherently difficult to use. It's just a lot of memorization. One thing is very easy to make a website that looks like crap. The hard part is making one that looks good. About halfway through getting the site to where it is now, I ran into a very strange issue. I was trying to implement a global CSS file, but one of the pages was not saving or being encoded correctly, resulting in the page, instead of receiving my beautiful CSS, it was receiving this. For the record, my fix was a single line of code, and this took me a week to figure out. For the nerds here, I'll put it on screen. After that whole debacle, it was smooth sailing. It took a week for my domain to transfer from the people at gen.xyz over to Cloudflare, where the site is now hosted. I do like my stuff to be secure. $14 a year and I have a shiny new website. But of course I needed more. I have a Raspberry Pi I got as a gift a while ago now, and I was so grateful that I put it on a shelf and forgot about it for 2 years, I want to say. I received 8 terabytes of archival HDD drives from a friend who works for the government. Didn't steal them. Or so he says. With that, I was able to build a NAS, and with some 3D printed mounting hardware, a base plate, and a surprising lack of duct tape, I had it spinning up. My software of choice is something called Copy Party. It's a passion project of sorts of some guy I found on the internet. It's a big, beautiful blob of well-written Python. It's fast, secure, and a 7-year-old could get it running. You don't even need a config file, as users, file permissions, general settings can be configured in the launch arguments, although I don't know why you'd want to do that to yourself. It is a possibility. There's lots of examples, and there's even a Discord. Like, what more could you want from a FOSS file server? For actually spinning up the server, it takes one wget command on a headless Raspberry Pi running Debian something. All you need is the copyparty sfx Python file and the copyparty.service file to get the server to boot with the Raspberry Pi. Then you copy and paste the commands that are in the .service file, and 10 minutes later you have a data server that you can access through the web. It also links a config file for easy use. Did I mention it's easy to use? The last step is to make it accessible anywhere, which I did through a Cloudflare tunnel. Think of it as 3 deaf, mute, and blind people handing something between them. The person number 3 isn't going to know person number 1 exists. All they're going to know is person number 2 handed them something. Number 1 being your server's IP. This means that my mom won't get DDoSed, which is a win in my book. Also, this is not a challenge, my Pi will explode. The tunnel points to a subdomain that I just put on my website, so anyone can access this server now. Now I have a better way to share files with people, because Discord sucks, and most other things you either have to pay for or are too small to be practical. And now I have a super convenient place to store files and all the data I've accumulated over the years of just existing. And also, this could be done for way cheaper. You don't need a Raspberry Pi 5. Any ESP32 chip with MicroPython installed on it could theoretically run the web server. You could run 40 Raspberry Pi Picos in parallel, and going off of the 2 megabytes of flash memory it has on board, you could get less than a gigabyte of storage for $200, which is an option. For the actual content of the website, I spent some time writing a few articles. I really get to let loose while making these and express myself. At the end of the day, I'm really just having fun with it. There's no point to writing serious articles, and besides, it's more fun. I will warn you, I'm very honest on there. A little bit vulgar. If you've ever clutched your pearls, don't go over there. All my source code can be found on my GitHub. It is not well written, but it works. The source code for my site can be found on my GitHub, which I'll link below along with Copy Party. And if you want to do any of this yourself, it is completely free. As I said, HTML is not complicated. GitHub will host up to a full gigabyte. Cloudflare also does free hosting. I don't know where that caps out at. GitHub Pages also gives you a subdomain with your name on it, which is pretty nice. For my domain, I got it for free for joining a hackathon that I never actually participated in, like 2 years ago, and going to gen.xyz. They have a bunch of very affordable domains for students and personal use. Anyways, thanks for watching. Share what you're working on in the comments. I want to see it.